All right, so this is a continuation of a reading I've been doing today. We're working with multiple decks. So if you haven't seen the prior parts, please do so. And the deck I'm working with now is the Green Witch Oracle deck. And it has this huge shard of a crystal, and it's like in the ground, and it's like bringing healing energy. And I am like surrounded by these really awesome crystals, and I too work with these outside. So I feel like grounding for clarity. Okay, anchoring in, okay, connecting your roots with the source, okay? This is about, like, there might be things that you're ruminating about. So let's see what these things are, or what's the advice about these things. Okay, that's a lot. Let's just do one at a time. Thank you. Okay, we have bird, freedom and opportunity. You might see a lot of birds. You might hear a lot of birds. This is you being a free spirit. It allows for opportunities. Okay, you also might be strongly connected to, I'm seeing birds everywhere in pretty much every deck I have over here. All right, so this is a form of liberation, communication, receptivity. You're never alone. I have renewal, revival, progress. I have springtime. Second time I'm getting spring. This is about rebuilding, awakening, and rebirth. There's the eggs. So this is about new creations, birthing something new. There is this cycle of renewal, rebirth, death and rebirth process playing out. It's very tied to the cycles. Dragonflies, butterflies, beetles, significant, owls, birds, ravens. We got another autumn card. Wow, let's get into these. These are awesome. Ooh, I love mint with my lemonade. This reminds me of my Aunt Anne-Marie. Mint, abundance, persistence, and proliferation. This also can be relevant for some of you who understand some of the runes. This would be a potential rune symbol. But I feel like this is you appreciating all that is, right? I feel like your persistence is paying off. I'm also getting a bit of, this all serves a grand purpose. Okay, so let's go through some of these cards. I don't usually use this deck, so we're gonna get into it. And there's bird. Where's the bird card? As a reader, I appreciate when there is some sort of organization when it comes to the cards in the book. So I appreciate when they're numbered, they're alphabetized, just FYI. So this card meaning, the bird, when it talks about freedom and opportunity, as symbols of freedom in many cultures, birds tell us what we too can soar. Conversely, many bird species are tied to a food source in a specific region, so they are completely interconnected with local land and its energies. Finding a balance between these two extremes can be challenging. Migration is another challenge. There is an element of sacrifice involved in leaving the known and familiar and trusting in your intuition to get where you need to be. The bird can also tell you that a new opportunity is close by. Lift your head past your current focus and look around for it. A bird's eye view may reveal something you might otherwise have never known about. New opportunities are on the horizon. The reflection here would be, have you been struggling to change your mindset and learn something new? Fascinating. All right, the next one is the leaves, which are beautiful, by the way. Ooh, this talks about renewal, revival, and progress. Look at this card. What a pretty deck. Leaves are how plants and trees take in sunlight, and as part of the photosynthesis, they convert it into food. The process also transforms carbon dioxide into oxygen. The process is a byproduct that further sustains much of non-plant life on Earth. In this way, the leaves card reminds you that you may need to pull ideas and solutions from different places to get your desired results. Don't just rely on well-used patterns or something maybe you've done before. Work to merge new patterns into your life. Leaves grow every year on trees, and they remind us that the cycles continue and that the energy of nature revives after its fallow period. Leaves are how a tree interacts and communicates with its environment. Paying attention to leaves, and you likely will find you are more in touch with the weather, seasonal shifts, the cycles of life, and the well-being of your immediate environment. Question for you is, do you need to pay more attention to your feelings and intuition when this comes up? Okay, interesting. There's some good messages in here. Springtime. This is the second spring card we got in our reading today. This is about rebuilding, awakening, and a rebirth, which is truly, like, as far as I'm concerned, the spring is the new year. All right. The reawakening of Earth is always inspiring. New life is on the horizon. It can be invigorating to witness the stirring of energy after a long rest. Spring tells you that it's time for new beginnings. It's the perfect time to launch a new project. Or if there are things you previously put on hold, the spring card suggests that now is a great time to revisit them. You will bring a fresh perspective to the project and a new level of energy that you didn't have before. Perhaps all that was needed was a new approach after some time away and a new burst of motivation and determination. So I feel like there's some inspiration coming your way, some creativity, maybe a new perspective on things after things have been at rest. So question for you would be, is there a project you want to launch that you have previously ignored, or is it something that you need to pick back up again with a fresh set of eyes? So if you've been procrastinating, I feel like what you might have been procrastinating on, I feel like there will be like this creative spark when it comes to that, which is amazing. And I love that for all of us. Let's see, next one we're going to do is time. And this was a beautiful card as well. And this really talks about presence and your self-awareness. And just like time, it has a sharp scent. It tells you to be in the moment and pay attention to the state of your own mind, body, and spirit. I feel like in green witchcraft, we rely on the herbs to help ground us, to add that extra oomph to something that we are creating. This card allows us to be present and self-aware. It may be time to take an inventory maybe about how you feel. With all the pretense, wishful thinking, and illusion stripped away, evaluate yourself honestly and with love and grace and forgiveness. Take note of any areas that sting your heart or kind of feel a bit hurtful, or maybe there's some unresolved things just sitting below the surface, right? Maybe they're rooted. So there could be a bit of uprooting that you might be called to work towards. I feel like try not to judge your feelings too harshly. Just offer them love and understanding. And remember that feelings are not actions. It takes a lot of strength and effort to stay present in your life and to observe these things. And if something does come to the surface, then you have the support in releasing it. Question for you would be, have you been feeling fully present in your daily life? And if not, what steps can you take to change this? Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's so much. Look at this. There's another owl. So if you see a lot of owls, or that's a spirit animal for you, then this is a confirmation that this really is about being reliable, loyal, stable, secure, just like the tree. Like there's so many different forms of life that depend on the tree to live. And so like a spine, the stalk or trunk is the center column of a plant, which everything branches off of. It is both the support and the connector, unifying the extremities of the crown and the roots. The newer, softer wood just beneath the protective bark of the trunk conveys moisture from the ground upward and moves energy and created in the leaves downward. The core is what gives the tree its strength. So I feel like a lot of us have been strengthening our core, right? Like a tree, your core has been formed of past experiences as you've grown. Make a list of your core beliefs, who you are, what you hold dear, and what you would never compromise on. This is who you truly are. The trunk card reminds you to stay true to those beliefs, to provide a safe, stable place for new expressions to develop. So the question for you regarding this is, what have some formative experiences in your life been, and how have they shaped who you are today? I know that through my process, I have really learned that my beliefs are very deep rooted, and there's been many attempts to repress these beliefs, or competition even because of the beliefs. I feel like, you know, you may have gone through a process of like stripping you down to your core beliefs, okay? To the point where, you know, it was like a universal, okay, type experience. Like you connected to like the sea of life, and I'm kind of seeing that seed here, and this is the seed card. So I feel like you went down to the root, like the core. There's new ideas, there's hope, there's, you know, this pull of like being open and having, you know, open-mindedness even. Sometimes a seed contains the blueprint for an entirely new plant, new creation, new life, new version of you, a future living thing. It is a miracle that something so small holds the key to new life. There's so much potential within a seed. In fact, planting a seed is an act of hope. It's the first step in a project or undertaking. It's trusting that in the future you will actualize your dreams. However, there's work ahead, right? If the seed sprouts, it will need care and attention to maximize its potential. You will need to nourish it and help it grow. The seeds card tells you that there is something worth your time that is waiting to be recognized. Be open to the messages nature has for you, okay? So be open to receive those intuitive messages. Don't immediately dismiss the ideas as far-fetched or impossible. Give them consideration. There may be something to learn. So, question for you would be, when you are thinking about new ideas or new projects, what do you want to achieve? So maybe coming up with a creative output, right, of what these ideas are. Like, get them out of your head and onto something that you can look back at so that you can do a deep dive or zoom out if you need to. There's something here that you're meant to nourish. I have autumn twice, a couple different decks, but here's an autumn. So this is about like releasing the old and resting. And then I have bounty and balance as well. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, guys. All right. So autumn is a new time to slow down. And again, so is winter. Winter is a time of rest. The higher energy of summer's expansion calms and turns to a slower rhythm. So things might have been slowed down to a pace of rest. There is space for acknowledgement and gratitude as the intense production of the previous season yields a crop. The autumn equinox is a time of balance when the hours of daylight and night are equal. The autumn card reminds you that balance is important, no matter what time of life it is or what cycle you're in. Okay, whether it means balancing work with appreciation for the harvest or balancing intake and output of energy. Okay, don't overtax yourself. Don't overdo it. Remember to refuel in times of hard work. Okay. So, question for you, have you been successful when it comes to balancing your work and your personal life? If not, how can you strike a better balance? Wow. All right. So, needing to balance things out a bit if you're feeling like there's some things that might not be in alignment. This is a really cool card. I like the crystal cluster here. I love the fruits. I love the star fruit. It's a fruit that I see a lot here. You know, all of this abundance represents achievement and success. So I feel like fruit is a tangible proof of achievement. When we say that something has borne fruit, we mean it has been successful. In this way, the fruit card tells you that all your hard work has yielded a very satisfying result, or is about to. And it's about to produce a wonderful result. Be proud of your efforts. Okay, so you're being asked to really recognize what you've achieved to this point. Producing something like a project, an object, a baby, whatever that creation is, it takes time, it takes energy, it takes nourishment, and it takes a lot of your attention. And sometimes work can be invisible to others, so maybe you're not always appreciated for what you do. But I feel like there needs to be some sort of acknowledgement of yourself. Things happen behind the scenes or internally that maybe others don't see and recognize, and that's okay. But I feel like me today is telling you that it is recognized, right? Your spiritual team is recognizing you for all the hard work. I'm getting the fruit of that labor, however, is proof that energy was invested, and it's recognizing it and honoring it. Fruit also tells you you can catch your breath for a bit and just celebrate your success, whatever that success is. The question here is, have you been working too hard on something and need a break? I feel like you might have been given lemons in a situation, but you used the lemons and you made lemonade. You very much might like mint in your lemonade. I know I do. So let's see what the mint card says. It's at the bottom of the deck. And so with that, we'll close the reading out regarding this deck and move on to other messages. And this is weird. I can't find the mint. Mint, where are you? Okay, found it. Thank you, Spirit. This talks about abundance, persistence, proliferation. The Mint card speaks of deep roots, firm grounding, and a refusal to give in or give up. The tenacity of the mint herb can be the despair of many of a gardener, but its abundance can also be an encouraging omen. Life's obstacles can be frustrating, but mint reminds you that stubbornness can get you through. Consider your current situation. Someone may be trying to uproot you or remove you from something you're passionate about. However, you're not letting them because you're no quitter. Make your own decisions and don't let someone else steal your energy. Dig in and be strong. Stubbornness isn't necessarily a negative trait. So the question here is, are there unfair limitations being imposed on you by somebody or something? Woof. I feel that one. I feel that one, baby. I feel that one. All right. Wow. Amazing, beautiful messages with this deck. I will use this deck more often. Thank you so much. How beautiful. All right. On to the next one. See you on the next part.